Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Walensky. I'm the Director of Admission and Financial Aid at St. Andrews School in Middletown, Delaware. I'm a proud alum of St. Andrews, like Mr. Meehan, as well as a 14-year veteran of our admissions office. It's such an honor to speak with you and your families tonight. I'm excited to help you get started on this journey, considering boarding schools and finding the right fit for your high school education. Thank you again for being here. Oh yeah, and we can probably go to the next slide with the facts about St. Andrews. Oh, sorry. We always start with yes. One of the things that we are known for is our connection to the film Dead Poets Society. If you have seen the movie, it is beautiful and tragic. It is not very much like St. Andrews School, but it is set at St. Andrews School. So if you know that, picture yourself there. Great. And yes, just to give a sense of the St. Andrews of today, you can see some data there about our student body. We are a very diverse school. We have students from all over the United States, all over the world, including 7 students from Korea this year. And we're excited to bring in folks who are a good match. And the last thing is we were founded with the mission of access to families who could not afford boarding school. And so we're a very socioeconomically diverse population as well. We're much more concerned with what you bring to the school than whether or not your family can pay tuition. And one last thing, please notice the bullet that says 100% residential. Every single one of our students lives at St. Andrews. We have no day students, and nearly all of our faculty live at St. Andrews as well. And that's special in the boarding school world. There's only about 3 schools left that really use that model, and we believe it's so important to a great community. All right. And just to give you a geographic sense, our campus is very large. It's 2,200 acres. So if you envision rectangle about 3 kilometers by 4 kilometers. That's the size of our campus surrounding Knoxontown Pond, which you can see in the picture. So it's a very large campus. I think they overlaid it on a map of Seoul, which I love. That's about the size of St. Andrews. Um, and we're located in Middletown, Delaware, which is about 2 hours from JFK Airport. That's where most Korean families fly. You can also fly to Newark, New Jersey, or Washington, Dulles, also about 2 hours away. And we help families arrange transportation, of course. So we're pretty easy to get to, even from all the way across the globe. And we welcome and we love our campus. We hope that you can visit at some point. Right. And then this slide and the next slide are really just images from our campus. We're very proud of our facilities. The place of St. Andrews is a great place to get an education. And what you can see in these photos is a blend of traditional and modern, a blend of different activities, the facilities that allow us to do great work in all of our areas, arts, athletics, academics, and of course your lives, just living on campus. 2 of those buildings are Founders Hall and the O'Brien Arts Center. You can see there. Founders is an old building, updated but very traditional. And that's where all of boys live, as well as the dining hall, the chapel, and the Arts Center from 2005 is where all of our music, dance, um, singing, painting, drawing, etc., all take place. And then rounding out the main part of campus, the field house is the home of our athletics programs. We offer 14 different varsity sports and JV and thirds and all levels of athletics to our students. You actually have to play sports at St. Andrews. So every student will play some team sports in Saprel Fieldhouse. And Amos Hall is the home of our math and science department. And so you can see that is the most recently renovated building on campus, very much a place where young scientists and mathematicians do the work of professionals and learn those different disciplines in a really dynamic setting. Yeah, so if I could give one bit of advice, the thing to start looking for as you consider different schools isn't just the facilities and the college list and those sorts of things. All of our schools have great programs. The most important question is, what is the mission? What is the school doing and why are they doing it? Because that informs everything about the experience. And so you'll see here on this slide just a quote from our mission statement all the way back in 1929, which sort of lays out what we do. Um, and that's important, but even the next slide after we go to that, Jamie, we'll sort of break it down and look a little more at it. And so this is what our mission means, because that language in that old slide, the other slide was sort of old-fashioned. Basically, our mission is to give a world-class college preparatory education with interesting and diverse people of all backgrounds from all over the world and to create a culture and a community that is supportive and challenging and allows you to become your best self. So that's sort of breaking it down. Those are the three pieces of the mission that we think are super important. It's what we start with before we even design the first class, or fill the first dorm bed. It's how are we going to fulfill our mission? And just sorry, Jamie, yeah, just the picture there is one important component of that. We have family style meals 5 times a week where we sit down the whole school in the dining hall and have seated formal meals as a full community. And that's an important part of that mission. We come together, we all know one another. We're smaller, 320 students or so, and we're all residential. So that community is an important part of our mission. And we'll see some other parts of the mission in the next few slides. Yeah. Thank you. And again, the first part is that academic mission. We want to give you world-class preparation for college. And here you see some photos of students doing the authentic work of their disciplines. They're doing it in small classes with a lot of teacher attention, a lot of collaboration, and a lot of action and joy. You can see the students interacting with each other and with their teachers. We don't have a lot of lecture-based classes at St. Andrews, because we want you to get involved in doing this work. So you can see that in some of these pictures, and that they're not staged. That's just the joyful, normal day of a St. Andrews classroom. And then it life is about more than just studying, of course. And so we really want to build that great community that's filled with joy. And so these are just some photos of life at St. Andrews. And you can see it's a beautiful setting with lots of fun and activities. But what you can really see is students interacting with each other and doing joyful things. And then I'll also point out what you can't see, which is you can't see a lot of cell phones. You don't see any cell phones in these pictures. We have a very strict cell phone policy. Of course, you have your phone, but they stay in your room. They're used to communicate with your family, and for all of the good things that you can do, but they're not there to interrupt our interaction with each other. So you see the students there having a joyful life, doing lots of activities they love without the interference of cell phones. And then the other component is we want you to have meaningful extracurricular experiences. You have to play sports at St. Andrews. You'll see it on the next slide. You have to do arts at St. Andrews. And it's not just that we want you to participate. We do. You learn lessons on the sports field or on the stage that you don't learn in the classroom. We also want you to realize your potential. And so those are two pictures of teams winning championships at St. Andrews. You're going to have to play some sports. You'll have to try some new sports, and you might end up as a champion, because that's the sort of program that we run. And the same goes for the performing arts or visual arts. We want you to learn to express yourself. And for some students, it's very easy to get up on stage. If you're a violinist with a long training and you're ready, you know how to perform. For some, they've never done that. We want you to feel empowered to get up on stage and express yourself and share your talent. That's the lesson that we want you to learn for the world for the rest of your life. And so we require the arts as well. You will have to do 2 semesters of performing arts at a minimum, and you can join many other clubs and activities other than that. But we want you to get up on stage. Every member of the community has a voice, and we want to give a place to hear that voice. And so, just before we get into admissions to wrap that up, we really want you to be well-rounded. We'll talk about that in a moment. And we want you to try new things that explore the unexpected, is a great theme for the St. Andrews and boarding school experience because part of why you might want to come to boarding school is to try something new, to be brave, to be an explorer. And that's what we hope to affirm. And we hope that your effort will be we know that your effort will be rewarded with success, of course, but also with joy and fulfillment. All right. And now we'll talk a little bit about the admissions part. And first of all, just so you know, you all potentially are having a head start. You get a head start by working with the team, with Jamie, with Will, with Steve. You have an incredible guide in this process. I'm here to help guide you as well by giving you some tips today. We don't want the admissions process to be a barrier to your exploration of your options. All of our goal is to help you find a great fit school. So I'll talk a little bit more about what that means at St. Andrews, but with that preface that we're all here to help you. So that first word there, that holistic, is a really important word. It means we look at the whole picture of who you are and what you may bring to the St. Andrews community and how you may grow at St. Andrews. Unlike the college process, which is much more narrowly focused, the boarding school process, especially at St. Andrews, is focused on the totality of who you are. So we really care about the big picture of who you are as a young person and who you may become, not just how good of a tester you are, or how good of a soccer player, or how good of a violinist, right? We care about the whole picture. Yeah. And if you really think about it, it's a bad metaphor, but kind of like a chair. You need 4 legs to hold up a good chair, a solid chair. The first is academics. We're looking for strong students who are good at school and good at testing and all of that, but more importantly, who like to learn. That the joy in learning is actually more important than the test score. Um, the second piece is extracurriculars. Again, we're looking for a variety of talents, but most importantly, we're looking for willingness to try new things. The third piece is a little more subjective, but we're looking at your character, right? We're looking at your warmth and friendliness and kindness and service to others and responsibility and readiness to be independent. We want all of those things so you'll be a good community member and can realize your potential. And then the fourth thing is we just want you to be yourself. So much of admissions can feel like, oh, I need to be someone, a good applicant, and we'd rather you just be you because you are a good person and what you bring will be attractive to us. But if you try to be someone different, we won't be able to see it, right? So academics, extracurriculars, kindness and service, and being yourself. Those are the 4 pieces that we look for. And so then we just want to give you some tips on how to go through the process in the next couple slides. So I think the first one is essays, Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and Jamie, it might be good just for you to directly translate these because it's good advice and I want to be clear. But
Yes.
the frame is that your essay is your chance to show who you are, right? Test scores tell a story, grades tell a story, videos of you playing piano tell a story, but your essay is our best view along with the interview of who you are. So be yourself, is my frame for these six. And then Jamie, if you just want to like share those six bullet points, that'll be great. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, and just t be sure to tell a story. Like it's so easy to say, I'm a nice person who works hard and that feel inauthentic. The best essays are one where somebody tells a story about setting up a booth at a school fair and selling cookies that they baked with their grandmother, right? It shows me all of those qualities. It doesn't tell me. Thank you, Jamie. I know that's a lot.
No, not a
And so,
problem.
yeah. And then, so, to that, we want to get to know you as a person. And so the essays are important for that. And I would say the most important piece is the interview. And you may interview in person when you visit a campus and take a tour, or you may do it virtually over Zoom. We don't have a preference. We're really good at both because our job is to help you show who you are. If you leave an interview with me feeling like that wasn't fun, then I failed. You didn't fail, right? Um, and so my job is to help you by asking you questions to show your best qualities and show your thoughtfulness. And those are some of the tips there. But my main goal is to help you have fun in that conversation. It's not a job interview. It's just a chance to get to know one another. Yeah, and just the bold part there I think is really important, right? Talk with us as you would with your friends or family. Don't don't read your resume, right? Even if you don't have it right in front of you, don't memorize and sort of just list things. We want it to be a fun conversation, and so and that can get in the way a little bit. So just listen to the questions, ask great questions, and try to understand that our job is to help you show those qualities. And if you come into it with that spirit, you're going to have a great interview. Yeah. And then that last part, just try to keep in touch a tiny little bit. You don't need to send an email every day or every week. But we're trying to build a relationship through this process because if you end up coming to St. Andrews, we want you to know that you're valued as an individual. And so those follow-up emails, if they're personalized and if they say, Mr. Walensky, I loved when we talked about the international orientation program. And I would really love that. Anything where you're specifically referencing the interview with your interviewer can be really impactful, particularly if a good couple messages and then we read them 4 months later, it helps jog our memories to say, "Oh, I loved that kid. This is the kid who like helped another kid who broke his leg on the ski slope," right? That's the sort of thing we remember, and can help you stand out, and it's real. Yeah. And I think that's it. Again, thank you so much for taking the time this evening. I know it's getting a little late. I hope this makes you feel comfortable starting the admissions process. Again, our goal is to get to know you, and the more we can lower the nervousness, the more we're going to be able to get to know you. And so I'm excited for that. I hope to meet you. You are all welcome at St. Andrews, or virtually. So thank you again for taking the time tonight.
All right, thank you, man. It seems like a lot of our students who actually, our current families that came in today, they are mostly attending junior boarders. So
Mm.
I think it's more informative for them because they don't really actually see the school before even interview tour at a junior boarding. So I think it's really great chance to actually they see it through you, hear it, so that whenever they visit your campus, it'll be much better for understand. Oh, actually, Matt talked about those issues before. Then remember, it's like we're thinking about relationship when they choose a school too. So
Well, and if you're at a junior boarding school, you've got a good radar. You know what to look for. So, welcome to those families. I know we visited lots of schools this spring, so hopefully you met one of us from St. Andrews at the fairs this spring.
okay. All right, thank you for everything. And I mean, last year, this year, thank you for coming to us and then doing a webinar with us. And can't wait to see you again. Hope there is someday you coming in, or there. I'm pretty sure there will be someday I'm going in too. So, thank you again. And you could log out as you say goodbye to our clients here today.
You
All
have a good
right. Well,
day.
Thank you,
thank you,
Matt.
James. See you all.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.